Yo, what's up guys? Josh here from Chang Fitness. Welcome back to another video. So today's week 1, day 3, bench day. It's 7x5 at 80% of my estimated 1 rep max. So in this first set, I actually mess up, as you're about to see. I didn't load the weight properly, so we're gonna have to redo this rep. And you can notice that I actually catch this just because I've been lifting for a while, so I can kind of feel how the bar feels. But today's topic is going to be about the top 3 mistakes that beginners make, which prevent them from making gains. So if you're someone who hits the gym consistently, but you notice that you don't seem to be getting the results you're after, then perhaps you're making one of these 3 mistakes. And hopefully by watching this video, you can correct them and then start making gains. So mistake number 1 is not lifting hard enough. So this is actually like a very simple mistake, which is basically you're not pushing your intensity. Most people use the metric RPE, rate of perceived effort or exertion, and that's out of a 1 to 10 scale. 10 is basically you can't do any more reps. 9 is you can do 1 more rep. 8 is you can do 2 more reps, etc., etc. So if you're not lifting hard enough, you might be lifting at like RPE 5 or 6, which means that after you're done with each of your working sets, you still have a lot of gas left in the tank, metaphorically speaking. So if that's you and you notice that you're just not pushing yourself hard enough, then I would recommend recording your sets when you lift, just so you can get a gauge of how intensely you're lifting. Since oftentimes something might feel hard, but then you look at it in your video and you're like, oh shit, that actually moved really quickly, or vice versa. So I recommend recording your workouts. Another method you can use is just getting a training partner who pushes you. It's kind of like the same idea, because oftentimes we might gauge our intensity incorrectly. So then just having someone push you and just serve as accountability in that front will definitely help you make more gains. The second mistake people make, which actually I would argue is a bigger one than the first one, is just not eating enough. That's why I'm a big advocate of dirty bulking when you first start out. Not because I think it's optimal, but I just think that you get the most insurance that you're going to make gains, since you're for sure in a surplus if you're eating like everything and just gaining weight, versus trying to lean bulk, which is more of an intermediate strategy. Because when you're lean bulking as a beginner, you potentially leave a lot of gains on the table just from not being in a caloric surplus. I see this time and time again, especially with guys who are hard gainers that I've worked with. They think they're in a caloric surplus, but then we look at the numbers and they might be gaining weight like 1 or 2 days of the week, but then losing weight the rest of the week. And then when you zoom out, it actually is just like staying the same, basically maintenance or potentially losing weight. I would say if you're someone who struggles with eating enough, then there are a lot of hacks you can do. Liquid calories. You can also just add like peanut butter to everything. I had a hack where it's like you just eat like a scoop of peanut butter every few hours, just set an alarm. Basically do whatever it takes to get the calories in. And the way you know that you're gaining weight and in a surplus is you got to weigh yourself consistently. Like I'd recommend every day or every other day, and then just track it down on like an Excel spreadsheet. Then you can just analyze the trend of your weight. Nowadays, a lot of the Bluetooth scales have this built-in functionality, so you can also go that route. But just in general, you should be tracking your weight. You should also be tracking your lifts, just because the way you get stronger and bigger is just lift more than last time and then just like eat more than last time. Put plain and simply. And the third mistake that might be holding yourself back is your form. So the reason I mentioned this last out of the 3 is because you can actually make a lot of gains by lifting incorrectly, as long as you're lifting hard and you're eating enough. However, if you really want to take your physique to the next level and target the right muscle groups, then you're going to need to get your form down. Since something as simple as a bicep curl, if you're swinging and like using terrible form, then it becomes a back workout. Or if you're doing like a chest press, let's say like benching, and your butt's flying off the pad, which is like pretty common for beginners, honestly, or like ego lifters, then you're not really targeting your chest. Honestly, I don't even know what you're targeting there, to be honest. Like I just recommend not doing the butt up. Honestly, if you're benching with your butt flying off the bench, oftentimes you're probably just using pure momentum to get the weight up. So yeah, I would recommend, going back to the initial point of like recording your workouts, like recording your working sets, just because if you can record your workout and just analyze how your form looks, it's pretty easy to gauge whether or not you're doing something right. And if you need like extra help with that, I offer online fitness coaching, so you can feel free to reach out and send an application. We can set up a call, and even if you don't go with my service, I can at least give you my 2 cents. So yeah, guys, I mean, this day was honestly kind of tough, this bench day, because I increased my weight quite rapidly just because we're like milking the newbie gains. But overall, super happy with how all my lifts went today. I think only one of the sets was like over RPE 9, and everything else was between RPE 7.5, and everything else was between RPE 7 and 8, and everything else was between RPE 7 to 9, which is exactly what I'm going for. And I'll pop the numbers up from last time so you guys can see the comparison. But that's gonna do it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.